what to do if we have lots of cracks in eggs. So usually when people complain about weak shells, cracks in eggs, the first answer that I see is give them more calcium, add oyster shells. That's the um, instinctual answer for people is more calcium, pump more calcium into them. But I've
Right.
heard you say that that's not.
Right. If you have the right amount of calcium, putting more calcium in is going to give you a minimal effect. And so, something that I've learned in the past few years, last 3 or 4,
Mhm.
is goes back to the water test. So when I find people with hard water,
Mhm.
um, then that interferes with the ability to absorb minerals through digestion. So making adjustments in the pH and in the water hardness,
Mhm.
offering a softer water, we've seen drastic improvements in eggshell quality. That's one. Two, a lot of people just let their laying hens lay until they decide to quit. Okay, so
Right.
without going through the appropriate molt and rebuilding that calcium in her body and in her bones,
Mhm.
eggshell quality is only going to continue to get worse. Okay, so if you're one of those people that just let the hen decide when she's going to lay and when she's not going to lay, then there's not a whole lot that we can do to fix your eggshell quality.
Mhm.
Now, for people that are willing to do a little bit more management, control the molt, push them through the molt, reduce some body fat, and during this time, we're pushing extra oyster shell, lots and lots and lots of extra coarse calcium. We want to make it everywhere in the feed, free choice, and we want the bird to fill up on it. So what we're doing is we're replenishing the bone calcium in her
Mhm.
body. People don't understand that. Just for round numbers, roughly half of the calcium that it takes to make an eggshell
Mhm.
comes out of what she eats, and the other half is actually coming out of her bone calcium stores. Okay, so
Mhm.
you have to be able to replace that. And back to oyster shell, aragonite, or calcium, if she can digest it more easily, then she's going to be able to replenish that bone calcium easier, quicker.
Mhm.
So the quality of your calcium is going to be very, very important. But cracked eggs could be the age of the hen. Cracked eggs or poor eggshell quality could be the water quality. Just continuing to add more and more and more calcium is not going to be the answer. It's just a band-aid on a bigger problem. So, we just have to go a little deeper and figure out why she's not absorbing calcium correctly.
There could also be the where the laying box is placed, if there are curtains or not, because if there is a curtain, the hen's going to go there and she's going to lay her eggs, then she's going to come out.
Right.
If she can see the eggs, you can see, they can get curious, what's this? And then you've got pecking, and that's another cause for cracks.
Yeah, egg pecking, egg eating or egg pecking. If you have chickens long enough, you're going to see this, right? It's just going to happen. You're going to get one hen that, she's just being ornery and hard to get along with, and she's going to go box to box to box, and she's going to peck them, right?
Mhm.
Um, I had an Araucana, and I watched her, right? I was fortunate enough to watch her do this, but she would walk right down the per trail and she would go box to box to box, right? And I would get, half of my eggs would have this little round indentation where she attempted to break an egg to eat it, right?
Right.
So, it's pretty hard to break that habit. So hopefully it's not your favorite hen, because really the only way to break bad behavior is to eat her, process and eat her. But not everybody wants to do that. So, I mean, you can try isolating her for a week or two,
Mhm.
to see if that breaks the habit. But a lot of times not. Once it becomes learned behavior, then it's going to be an issue. Um, so, yeah, age, proper diet, bad habits. The other thing I find is when people don't have curtains or don't have their nest boxes placed correctly, is all the hens want to lay in the same nest box, right? So all that traffic of birds going in and out and in and out will also lead to more cracked eggs. So,
Right. They seem to favor some nest box. I know that there are, and you kind of feel like it's random, but there are some boxes where you find all the eggs, and then
yeah,
some where you'll never find one. So they just like it. Or maybe the vibes are good in there, or
must be.
whatever it is.